Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming along this afternoon. My name is Detective Chief Inspector Mark McKechnie. I'm the officer in charge at the Southern District CIB, which is based at Christie's Beach. We're here today in relation to two serious incidents that we've seen on the Southern Expressway bike track on Friday morning and yesterday morning. Both incidents have occurred on the bike track, which is on the eastern side of the Southern Expressway at Hackham West, so between Poznan Path, which is a walking bridge over the expressway, and Beach Road, which is to the north of Poznan Path. What's actually occurred is at about 6:20 a.m. on Monday the 10th of February, we had three cyclists riding along the pathway there, travelling at about 35 kilometres an hour, so a reasonable speed, minding their own business, enjoying their Friday morning ride, and they've been struck down by a stretch of wire that's been placed across from a fence line on the western side of the expressway and tied to a tree opposite at about a metre height, so the most dangerous height you can possibly get for a cyclist going down the bike track. It's knocked all three of these guys off. They've sustained some nasty grazes and bruises as a result. Their bikes have been destroyed. They're really expensive bikes, in excess of $10,000. Fortunately, there was no serious injuries that these guys received that required any hospitalisation. They were treated at the scene. So that incident occurred on Friday. We've been actively investigating that incident since then. Yesterday afternoon, we became aware of another incident which is very similar in nature, where a female was riding along the expressway in a very similar location on the same side of the expressway yesterday morning at about 6:40 a.m. when she too was struck the same sort of wire in a very same manner stretched across the bike path. Fortunately, her handlebar collided with the wire, ripped those off, so caused damage to her bike, but somehow she wasn't injured. That was reported to us yesterday. So what we suspected may have been an opportunistic incident on the Friday, and hopefully an isolated one. Yesterday's incident has shown us something far more sinister than that, and there is somebody actively harming the public by stupidly pulling this wire across the bikeway to knock cyclists off. Why you'd do that, who knows? Stupidity and cowardice come to mind. It's obviously incredibly serious offending. It's offending that accounts to acts to endanger life, which carries a maximum of 18 years imprisonment. Southern District CIB are investigating this, and all resources possible are being put into it to identify who's responsible and hold that person or persons to account. Whether it's an opportunistic thing, the wire's already been broken and it's been stretched across to a tree on the other side of the bike path. But the fact that it's happened twice gives concerns that someone's actively going there and cutting it. It probably doesn't really matter. The bottom line is this person is doing it. That's the size wire we're talking about. It's reasonably thick, probably a few mils thick. But it is difficult to determine just how premeditated it was. Obviously, the second one gives rise to the fact that it is far more planned than what we initially was hopeful of. So that's that visual.
Excellent.
Yep, thanks. Okay, so our female victim from yesterday morning has told us that after she collided with this piece of wire, that she saw a male person walking ahead of her in a northerly direction along the bike path, the bike track. We don't know whether this person is a witness involved. We just don't know. We've got no idea. But this may or may not be the person that our victim is talking about. She spoke about the person she saw on the bike track heading north as wearing dark shorts and a white top with writing on the back. It's quite possibly this man here. Either way, this is a photo of this chap walking in a easterly direction across that Poznan Path bridge, and then at the end of the bridge he turns left to go along the bike track, which is in the same direction as our victim on yesterday. So it's quite possible this is the chap that she's talking about. Again, we don't know what involvement, if any, but he should be able to help us with some information about what he saw on the track that morning. So that's what we're hopeful for. We ask for this person to present themselves and contact us, or if anyone knows the person, to give us a call and let us know who that person is. As you'll see, there is some writing on the back of the windsheet of the hoodie that he's wearing. It says "from nothing to something," so it's quite distinctive. Tradie sort of boots and socks. So it could be someone instantly walking to work. We just want to find out who that person is that may be able to assist us with our inquiries. Was that it? That was the only visuals? Yeah. So that's our appeal. It's partly in relation to this gentleman here coming forward, someone telling us who he is. We appeal for anyone that's been going down the bike track in recent weeks or days, whatever, that have had this sort of thing happen, that hasn't been reported at SAPOL. We only know of the 2 incidents, Friday and Monday at this point in time. There could be others that we haven't been told about. We would ask anyone that has that information to call us. We would ask for anyone that has any information at all about who's responsible for this offending to contact Crime Stoppers as soon as possible. Like I said, all resources will be put into finding this individual at such dangerous behaviour. You can't think of anything more stupid or serious. If you tried, I don't think. It's just up in the upper echelon of dangerous behaviour. We're just fortunate that those guys on Friday and the lady yesterday did not receive far more serious injuries. I think we all know people that have come off bikes and received dreadful, life-changing injuries. Fortunately, that hasn't happened. We don't want it to happen. Okay, well, I'm happy to answer some questions.
What are the risks with this sort of height of wiring?
Yeah, and obviously it depends what sort of bike you got. If you're leaning over like the cyclists probably were, and the height was about 1 metre high, so that's probably the level that's going to cause optimum damage. But as we know, the kids are on the bike track. You've got hundreds of people riding the bikes along those tracks every day. The Tour Down Under, 25th year anniversary of that. People are more inclined to get out on their bikes and enjoy Adelaide and the beautiful weather. It's just incredibly stupid and dangerous.
From your investigation so far, is it a sole person acting, do you believe? Or
Yeah, look, we're open to any line of inquiry there. You would hope there's only one stupid individual enough that would do this, but look, we'll be open to that sort of thing, but at the moment, we don't know.
Some locals have reported hearing dirt bikes speed up and down that strip, and maybe that this was not actually targeting cyclists, but people on road bikes. Is that something you're worried about?
Look, I don't know. I would suggest, I don't know, to be honest, but there's always been bikes going up and down that track since it was created. But yeah, I get the feeling it's not something to do with that. I think it's a more sinister, targeted type thing that someone's taking the opportunity to harm people and probably may not care as a bike or a motorbike. But yeah, I suspect it's not that, but could be wrong.
Can you expand on what sort of injuries the 2 men received on Friday?
Yeah, fortunately it was just restricted to nasty grazes and to the knees and elbows. One gentleman didn't get any injuries somehow, but they all came off and at speed, so really fortunate.
Are you surprised by how minor the injuries were, given the speed that they were going?
Yeah, it's unusual, isn't it? Because you'd expect you could get some really, and they could have got really nasty. I think that's lucky, it's how they've landed, or very fortunate.
What sort of injuries would you expect to see from an accident like this, like in terms of, severity?
Oh, look, I mean, all I can go on is experience with people that have policing and people that I know that have come off bikes. They can be dreadfully serious and life-changing. Fortunately, that wasn't the case here.
The person you're appealing to come forward, what do you expect they would have seen based on time?
Look, we don't know, because we don't know where he may have got off the track. So all we know is that at around about the same time as our lady got gotten off the bike yesterday at 6:40 a.m, this gentleman was in the area. So we're hoping he's seen something. At least a wire may be intact. It should have been intact at that point in time. So maybe he's seen that. Maybe he's peeled off before. We're not really certain, but that's what we need to speak to him to find out.
Tour Down Under starts late this week. What's your message to South Aussies? Obviously, there'll be a lot more people on the road using bike paths, etc.
Yeah,
What's your message to
absolutely, and that's it's quite timely between the 13th yesterday and the 26th of January. We've got the Operation Safe Cycling that SAPOL have initiated, and that's focusing on all road users and bike riders, being respectful on the road, being careful the amount of bikes are going to be out there. So it's timely that we can send that message out again about the dangers of bike riding. Is dangerous at the best of times, let alone somebody putting a piece of wire across the track. But yeah, it's a timely message to anyone on a bike. Be careful, be vigilant. Road users, be patient. Everyone wants to enjoy our beautiful state at the Tour Down Under. It's a thing we're so proud of here. We just want everyone to be respectful of each other and be mindful whilst on the roads. And this is an out-of-the-box kind of scenario, so it's no fault of any road users. It's an individual that's caused it, but that's our message.
Have you seen this behaviour before?
No, fortunately not. No. It's possibly happened, I don't know. I've not experienced in my 40 odd years of policing, but fortunately. And this is a community concerned offence, you know, it's a real community thing. It's right at the heart of the community. People on a bike, kids, minding their own business, and someone does this, it's terrible. So that's why we've gone the extent to calling this media release today. We need help from the public. We want to identify this persons, whoever it is, and hold them to account and take that risk away from the public.
You go into any detail about how these cyclists were feeling after this incident?
Look, very shaken, sore, in shock, and I'm sure they're absolutely horrified that someone would have done this, but probably relieved that they're not more seriously injured as well.
Do you think this is a malicious attack against cyclists?
Yeah, look, I don't know. Well, that height would suggest so. Yeah, but yeah, who knows what these people or persons thinking? We don't know.
Final questions. Are you able to tell us anything about how the investigation into the murder that happened overnight is going?
No, sorry, I can't. I haven't got any information in relation to that at all.
And have you run any how investigations going with that?
Sorry.
Any hit run?
Oh no, sorry, I can't comment on that either, but I do know that there is something coming out soon in respect to that one. But what I will say, just going back to this incident on the bike track, is that we will be paying more attention than normal to this, obviously, because of this offending. We'll be using whatever resources we need to keep people safe. So there'll be both a visible presence and other resources that I won't go into. But rest assured, this investigation here for the Southern District CIB has got its highest priority.
Are you concerned that there are other incidents that you're just not aware of?
Yeah, it's always a concern. Yeah, people, they've seen something, might have untied it, not knowing, just to do the right thing and not told us. Who knows? And that's the kind of a thing we need to know. Because who knows what other investigation opportunities will open up.
All right, thanks everyone. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, guys.